Good afternoon, America. Today we look back at the post-events of World War II, mostly surrounding the Cold War. Take it away, George.
Go.
The Iron Curtain was a boundary that divided Europe into two separate areas from 1945 until 1991, which was the end of the Cold War.
The Truman Doctrine was an American foreign policy with the intended use of countering and minimizing the communist expansion of Russia during the Cold War. The act was announced to Congress on March 12, 1947, and finally developed on July 12, 1948.
The Potsdam Conference was held at Sachsenhof, the home of Prince William. Potsdam, which is controlled by Germany on July 18, 1945. Joseph Stalin, Harry Truman, and Soviet ambassador to U.S., and a few other leaders banded together to converse about how to administer the defeat of Nazi Germany.
Due to the recent rise of communism, a Red Scare has spread fear throughout society. Our society is in a state of panic.
McCarthyism was the practice of making accusations without evidence of communism and treason within the country. It is named after Joseph McCarthy. After he did this, obviously, one of his quotes being, "Accuse everyone of everything."
When we bombed Japan at the end of World War II, we started an arms race between the Soviet Union and ourselves. This was about to see who could get bigger and better weapons, who could get to space first, and technically, there were a few wars involved, such as the Korean War and the Vietnam War. The race ended when the conventional forces in Europe fought War Signal in November of 1990.
Due to the recent rise of communism, a Red Scare has spread fear throughout society. Our society is in a state of panic.
The Warsaw Pact was a defense treaty made between the Soviet Union and several other socialist states in Central and Eastern Europe. This was created on May 14th of 1955, and it was dissolved on July 1st of 1991, which was the end of the Cold War.
The Korean War began on June 25, 1950, when North Korea invaded South Korea. The United States came to aid South Korea in the fight, while the Soviet Union gave some amount of aid to North Korea. We pushed North Korea back to the borders of China, and it started to look like we were going to win. But China, being alarmed of a fight so close to its borders, aided North Korea in pushing us back to the halfway point when a ceasefire took place.
The Marshall Plan was an economic and foreign policy that offered aid to the Western European countries after World War II. It was approved in 1948 by Congress, and over the next 4 years, the U.S. gave about $13 billion in grants and loans to nations in Western Europe. The program provided food to reduce famine, and fuel, and also factories, and of course money, so they could jumpstart economic growth. Aid was also offered to make the Soviet satellite states in Eastern Europe, but Stalin refused to let them accept it. It was signed on April 3rd, 1948, also known as the Economic Recovery Act of 1948.